25 lessons I've learned since I turned 25, and especially not things I've learned since I was 1 year old or 2 year old, but things that I've learned in recent times that I think are very paramount to my generation and in the times that we live. Number one is good things take time. Our generation is such in a rush, and I don't blame anybody because of social media. We are often comparing our lives to other people. We want what other people have. Recently, I was talking to a young person and they were complaining about how bad their life is going. And I was wondering, oh, when did you finish university? How long have you worked for? They're complaining. And they're like, oh, they're just about to enter the university. I'm like, your life is going, you've not even lived. And when you're talking to a younger person, they're like, don't you see Tony Elumelu? And I'm like, that's a 61-year-old man. Why are you expecting to have what he has at 22? You need to work for a number of years. You need to live for a number of years because you're to learn as you grow. You're going to fail as you grow as well. And then you consistently build up yourself as you grow. So you don't expect to have what people who have spent 20 years or 30 years of working have to have it now. And it boils down to the pressure that we put in ourselves, especially on TikTok. You find university students wanting to buy the latest wig or complaining that they don't have an iPhone 16. And I'm wondering, when I was in the university, I was entering bike to shake it and going to my hostel. Who is looking at me? I'm in the university, I'm here to learn. And I was using the most basic phone. Now I can afford the most expensive phone because I'm able to work to afford that phone. So understand that good things take time and stop being in a rush. Number two is stop living life to chance. Our generation likes to live life to chance. You do not have a plan. Get your biro and paper and have a plan for your life. I know we have computers and I like to keep things on Google Docs or Microsoft Word, but I still like to pick up a biro and paper and say, number one, this is what I want to achieve. Number two, this is what I want to achieve. Because nobody leaves anything to chance. You have to have a plan for your life. For example, I want to become a professor. I can't just wake up and say, oh, I want to become a professor. No, I know that I have to get my master's, I have to get my PhD, which I'm currently doing, because you have to have a plan for your life. You can't just be moving on vibes and say, whatever we be, we be. No, have a plan for your life. Because at the end of the day, you have dreams, but procrastination is such a stealer of dreams. Get up and have a plan for your life and stop leaving everything to chance. Even the Bible says, write it down so he that runneth can read. Your life needs to have a plan. And everybody you know that you look up to right now started from scratch one day. The difference is that they stopped saying one day and they said day one. Just start. Now that you're not leaving everything to chance and that you have realized that you have to set goals for your life, number three is you cannot want everything. I know that people keep saying, oh no, I can have everything I want. No, focus on what you want. Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a nurse? Do you want to be an electrician? Do you want to be a welder? Do you want to be a plumber? And this is not to say that you cannot have so many interests. I'm a multi-potentialite myself, and I have so many things that I have interest in. And I do so many things. You see me singing, you see me dancing, you see me acting. But I've said it that one thing everybody is going to know me for is that Annie is an excellent content creator and an influencer. That is my number one goal. It doesn't mean I cannot do so many other things. So you need to be known for one thing first. What do people know you for? What's that thing that you're excellent at? What is that thing that they say, if I want to say who is the best at this thing, I can go to you. Once you figure that out, you figure out your purpose, which is really what you want to do. It makes everything easier. You can start reading books towards that line. You can start interning at offices that relate to what you want to do. It helps you consistently work at that thing you want to be. All of these things that keep filling your head because your friend said this today, your friend said this tomorrow, your friend said this next tomorrow. No. Know what you want to do for yourself and go ahead and do that thing. Do not distract your brain with so many things because you're looking at what this person is doing today and what this other person is doing tomorrow. Another thing I'm going to say is that there are dreams that you just know they are not going to come true, especially if you're living in Nigeria in a particular city. Like, don't deceive yourself. And it's not to say that it's not possible to happen. But why are you waiting to be the 1 in 1 million that is going to happen for? For example, you wake up every day and you say, oh, I want to be an actor that wins an Oscar. But okay, you only act as about Wood. Oh, it's never going to happen. Honestly. And that's why I say that you need to focus on what you want to be. When you figured out that this is what I want for myself, you do things that align to that goal. If it's location, if it's place, if it's most of the people who have achieved things that we admire, even for me myself, I always say that. I always tell my manager that I need to go to America this year. I need to go to America this year because I just know that there are some dreams that are never going to come true if I keep staying here. And it's not that I'm never going to come. I'm not going to come back to Nigeria. I always say I'm going to come back to Nigeria. But I know that there are some dreams that are not just possible in my location. So I need to be able to say, oh, I work here and I work here as well. Number four, hard work. Our generation is so lazy, and the worst part about it is that we are lazy and we are proud. There are so many people you give a job, one task, and they have so many excuses. I can't do it because of this, I can't do it because of that. And then you ask them what they want to become. They say, I want to become the most successful. You're not going to be the most successful anything if you are this lazy, let me tell you. You ask someone, oh, what do you want to finish with? A first class in the university. But you're sleeping at at 12 a.m. You're sleeping. You think that's how first class graduates do it? No, you're lazy. Stand up. And it's such a thing in our generation where we're too lazy and we're proud. And I always say that it's not so hard to stand out in Nigeria because all you have to do is to be excellent at what you do. That's all. The number of excellent people, you can count them. I always say that sometimes all you have to do is go abroad, learn one task, and come back, and everybody be like, wow. Because there are not so many excellent people in Nigeria. For example, glam butter. Has anybody done it in Nigeria? No. You're telling me if you come to Nigeria and you bring it, everybody will not be like, oh, you're the next person everybody wants to look for. It's not hard to stand out in Nigeria because there are not so many excellent people. And it boils down to our generation. We're lazy. Don't be that lazy person. Don't be lazy. Number 5, know your weaknesses and your strengths and accept them, especially your weaknesses. I know my weakness, for example, my weakness is finance. 1, because I hate mathematics. I do not like to see numbers, so I'm very bad at it. 2, because someone can come and meet me on the road and say, oh, Henry, I've not paid my school fees. I need 100,000. I'll be like, take it. I'm always giving. And one thing Tyler Perry always says is that you cannot give from an empty tank. And that's one thing I've come to realize that, okay, this is my weakness. I'm bad at it. And what did I do about it? I said, okay, I'm going to get a management team with people who actually understand and know finance and would actually walk me through it. So I get better at this thing. And that's the best way you can handle life. You know your strengths, know what you're good at, and know your weaknesses, and be able to accept that this is a weakness. And instead of trying to struggle and fix it, say, it is a weakness, I'm not the best at it. Can I find someone else to do it? And if I can't, will I work on it to get better? But no, our generation, we will argue. It is not my weakness. You can tell your friend that, oh, I think you have anger issues, you need to work on it. And they'll go, no, I don't. But this is really anger issue. Can't you see? You have anger issues. The best part about it is accept that it's a weakness. It's okay. It's a weakness. Accept your weakness and work on it. Know your strength and know that this is where I excel at. Simple. 6, we need to read more. And I'm not just talking about books. If it's that you need to watch more inspirational content, you need to watch things that make your brain think, reason. Read because so that your brain can expand beyond the horizons and you can also task your brain, especially because you're no more doing mathematics when you passed out of the university. So you have nothing to task your brain with. So you need to read. You need to watch intellectual conversation. Not every time you're just doom scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, boom, 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 and there's nothing intellectual that is coming to your brain, especially because you people like to argue. Young people will like to argue so much on TikTok. Before you scroll to, you've already seen someone having a take on something. I think that. And then when you finish watching it, you're like, what did you just say? What did this person say? You said nothing smart. I can tell that you've not opened a book about this thing. I can tell that you didn't even watch any video about this situation. You're just saying it out of your own thoughts, expression, and ideas. This is what I think. Even on Twitter, you people argue so much, but argue blindly, argue aimlessly. They can be arguing with someone who is an expert in the field. Then when you tell them your qualification, they'll be like, oh, sorry, I did not know. But you don't even know what you're talking about. This is why you people need to read more. Open books, read. If you're constantly on your phone, spend time watching YouTube videos. Let me even show you guys. Let me show you. I have another Instagram account, not my popular Instagram account. All that is on this Instagram is to follow motivational people. Oprah, Tyler Perry. And if you keep scrolling, you'll just be seeing all these motivational quotes. Chimamanda, can you see? That's it. That's it. It's because you need to listen to things that make you think, things that make your IQ expand. You people are always saying rubbish, nonsense. And that's because you do not read. Open books, read, watch intellectual conversations, and that's a period, thank you. And if you do not know what you're talking about, shut up! Number 7, not everybody has to be famous. And I'm not saying you should not create content. There are people who genuinely enjoy creating content. Please keep creating content. I'm talking about people who do anything and everything to be viral. You're pooping on TikTok. You're bringing your family issue on TikTok. Why? Because you want us to give you the views and numbers. Okay, take it. What are you going to do after now? Yeah, okay, you had 1 million views on that video. Wow, your brain has been released with dopamine. What are you going to do about it? Not everybody has to be famous. You people don't know when to draw the line, and that's why someone is pooping on social media. Because when they become viral, or you have a viral sound, and everybody starts to tell you you're the most important plantain in the plantation, and you start to think you're above everything else. Because everybody has this idea that they need to be famous, they want to be famous. No. Not everybody has to be famous, and not everybody has to be famous as a content creator. Be an expert in your field and you'll be famous in your field. Dr. Ben Carson is in the medical field. Tosin Olasende is in Money Africa. Yamo Moregbe is in investment. But no, everybody in our generation wants to die on the hill of content creation. And let me even tell you, because I would know, fame is the hardest thing ever. I'm not even sure you want to be famous. If we're going to talk about the challenges of being famous, it's going to take me another video to talk about it. And I would know because I am. Think about it really before you say, I want to be famous. There's a difference between you can be so successful and have so much money and take care of your family and friends. You don't necessarily have to be famous. And again, stop doing the weirdest things on social media because you're chasing virality so much. Think about your family members before you post that video. Think about your loved ones before you post that video. Think about the person that is going to marry you before you post that video. Think before you show me how poop comes out from your yams. Number 8, drop your phone, you're DoomScrolling. There are so many places we didn't used to carry our phones to before that suddenly realized we carry our phones to. For example, when we're going to use the bathroom, it has become almost impossible to go to the bathroom without carrying our phones. And so most times I want to drop my phone because I'm sure before I had a phone, I used to use the bathroom. And oftentimes when we're on our phones, we're just scrolling aimlessly. And this is not to say don't have entertainment time. You need to have entertainment time. You need to have time that you watch things that make you laugh and give you escape, of course. But when you spend time scrolling through your phone the entire day, not watching anything educative, inspiring, you need to get busy. You need to fuel your day. Get a hobby. Go and learn how to play an instrument. Go and join the choir. Find something that excites you that doesn't necessarily have to be your phone. Another thing is even when we go out to lunch with friends, my friends and I consciously now tell each other, oh, we're dropping our phones here because we figured out that we could spend time at lunch and not say anything to anybody. We just like, oh, the food is coming. Even as we're eating, we're watching something. And so what's the point of having lunch with friends? You need to consciously drop your phone and say, oh, I'm dropping my phone at this time. One thing you can also do is to lock your apps. Get an app locker on your phone and lock your app. And I'm not even just talking about for yourselves. Even in important moments, drop your phone. Your friend's boyfriend is surprising now. Everybody is recording. Why? What are you going to do with the video? 1, you want to keep memories. Then get one person to record for everybody. How do you remember? How do you even have a memory of it if you didn't even experience it? Even when we go to concerts, some people record the concert throughout. Some of you are enjoying the concert. When are you actually involving yourself in the experience of what is happening? Keeping yourself in the moment because we're so obsessed with our phones. You find some people when they drop their phones, they don't know what to do with themselves. They're shaking, they're fidgeting. Because they don't even have things that they do anymore when they're not with their phones. Get a book to read, talking with friends, go and visit someone, get a hobby, get something that keeps you busy. Also drop your phone because you have an exam tomorrow and you're watching TikTok again. How are you going to pass this exam? Exactly, I thought as much. Number 9, our generation is not content. And this is not saying that you shouldn't want more for yourself, but you need to be happy and grateful for where you are at because comparison is such a stealer of joy. And this is why Oprah Winfrey says that contentment is the foundation for living a very fulfilled life. I had to travel out of Lagos. Normally, when I finish December work, which is the busiest period for us in the entertainment space, in January, I want to work again. But this time I said, Emmy, slow down, hold on. Go out of Lagos, go and see how other people are living their lives. And so I traveled to different cities across Nigeria. And I saw that you don't necessarily need to have a Range Rover. It's in Lagos that I know that people want to buy the next Range Rover, live in the most expensive house. No, people are living sweet, enjoyable lives because they're very content with what they have. In fact, I went to Ekiti and I didn't see one Range Rover. And this is not to say that there are people that cannot afford to buy Range Rovers. But it's just that why would you even put such concentration on yourself when nobody else is buying the Range Rover there? But can they get to where they want to? Yes. Are they content with life? Yes. Are they living very happy lives? Yes. Our generation is so concerned about money every time. And it's not bad to want more for yourself. But in a way that it starts to steal your joy and happiness is when it becomes a problem. And it's because of social media. Everybody keeps comparing their lives to the young influencers. I'm an influencer myself. If I post a Swarovski wristwatch that I bought, it's because I need to be able to post that Swarovski wristwatch to be able to have real food on my table that I can eat. The wristwatch may even have been given to me as a gift, and we consume social media so much in a way that we start to put unnecessary pressure on ourselves. There was a particular viral video of a wardrobe that went viral on TikTok, and people were saying, oh, that's a wardrobe, that's not a bungalow. And you could see young girls writing, oh wow, oh this, that. And I'm saying, no, but she didn't buy all the shoes in a day. She's been living for so many years. Her shoe size has not increased. So maybe she even bought these shoes over the span of 20 years. But you're looking at it and you're saying, I want it now, I want it now. And that's why we're always oversharing. It becomes a problem because some people don't even collect gifts anymore to enjoy the gifts and be grateful for the gifts. The next thing is they want to post it on social media. Wow, my boyfriend bought me so many flowers. Wow, my girlfriend surprised me with this. We're happy for you, congratulations. But do you really need to be posting it? Your love has become so commercialized. And that's why 200 level student thinks that he needs to be buying a new phone for his girlfriend, because love has even become so commercialized. I'm all for giving gifts to people, but do not put unnecessary pressure on yourself when you start to do things that you do not necessarily need to do because they are trying to live up to a societal standard. And the worst part about it is that nobody cares about you. Let me tell you, tomorrow they're going to be thinking about something else. They're in their houses right now. After they watch that video and they swipe, they're going to forget you in the next minute. So why are you putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to appeal to other people so that other people in the moment can say, oh wow, I'm so jealous of you, even when they're not going to think about you in the next minute? Love has become so commercialized in our generation. Everybody's always talking about money. Everybody's trying to show that they're a better person than another person. Recently, my car pulled up at an event to pick me up at the event, and someone beside me said, Annie, why is your Rolls Royce not here? As proper whining. And I was like, oh no, I don't have a Rolls Royce. And this is not a funny joke. I said it in my mind that this is not a funny joke. I'm going to tell you I don't have a Rolls Royce, because the next thing that is going to happen is that I'm going to start putting pressure on myself that I need to get a Rolls Royce now. But why? Why do I need to? Why? Do you have a Rolls Royce? You that you're making a joke? No, you don't? Okay, so why are you putting unnecessary pressure on me that I need to get a Rolls Royce now? No, I don't. I don't need a Rolls Royce. And that's the end of it. And that's how I'm living life now. Let's not over-glorify money in a way that so many people start to do scams, steal from other people just because they are pressured by society. Number 10, if you went to a public university in Nigeria or you're going to a public university in Nigeria, let me tell you the truth, you have more work to do than someone who went to a private university in Nigeria. And how would I know? I've been to a public university and I've been to a private university. Number 1, the network of people you meet in a private university is different from the ones you meet in a public university. 2, there's so many things they expose you to in a private university that they do not expose you to in a public university. So you have extra work to do. And I'm not going to lie to you. Is it harder to graduate in first class in a public university than a private university? Yes, it is. But it's not just because of what they're teaching. It's because, number 1, in a public university, I didn't have electricity throughout. Do you want to compare it with someone who has electricity morning and night and has light to read their books? Me, I had to read my book with torchlight. So I had to put in extra work to finish the first class. Or in a public university where a lecturer stood in front of my classmates and said, oh, they forgot their script and did not mark it, they had to rewrite the course. No, that would never happen in a private university because the lecturer would get sacked. And also maybe because there are so many people you have to compete with in a public university. So for them to be impressed with your score and to give you a 90% on your grade, maybe also that also matters. If you went to a public university in Nigeria or you're in a public university in Nigeria, let me tell you, you have so much work to do and you need to start doing that work now. Start relating with people who go to private universities as well, because they get early exposure to certain technologies that people do not use in public university. For example, Grammarly, very simple, but you're not using it in a public university. Number 2, I think they just turn it in public universities because you know how many documents they have to go through. But you don't even know that if you're in a public university, so you don't even know what Turnitin is. Even as simple as ChatGPT, a lot of people don't know because they're not exposed to it, and it's not a bad thing. So you need to do the extra work. You need to go on YouTube and find out what are people talking about. When I moved to Lagos in 2019, because of the way I spoke, people used to ask me, oh, did you school outside Nigeria? You schooled in Nigeria? And I would say, oh no, I schooled in Nigeria. And then they would say, oh, what private university did you go to? Because of the way I was acting. I was like, no, I didn't go to a private university. I went to a public university. And then they would say, why do you sound like this? And then I would say, why? I sound educated. Obviously because I went to school, but also because I did extra work. I used to watch English with Lucy on YouTube because I knew I wanted to work in the media space, and I was schooling in Ekiti where people predominantly spoke Yoruba. Yoruba is excellent, is good, but I also need to be able to speak English because that is what is spoken in the media space. So if you're in a public university, I would advise you to put in the extra work. Intern in a reputable organization in the industry you plan to work in even before you finish the university. Do the extra work that other people in your class are not doing. Also because a lot of what they're teaching you is theoretical and you need the practical side of it.